Hey guys, and welcome back to book review, or book club, should I say, book club, and we're going to be talking about today the Mistborn, the first book in the Mistborn series, The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. Now, I thought this book was very interesting and good, and the storyline was interesting. A few things that I found that they put in the storyline to just progress it along, well, he put it in to just progress it along, was interesting. And there's a lot of depth and hidden character depth in the story as well, which you start finding out in the next book. Because I have started reading the second book, but I will not give any spoilers in this book club. So the first book is based on Calcia and his crew, with a new addition that is they call her V, I believe, or anyway. Yeah. But yeah, so she is what they like to call Mistborn, and a Mistborn is a person with lots of powers. And some of those powers are crazy, and some of those powers are not so crazy. So it has the power to soothe emotions, and that's called a soother. Well, you guys, if you've read the book, you've already known this, but I think it was a very interesting book to read, and the powers I thought were very interesting in the book as well, and they had more depth than, let's say, you're a soother, so you soothe people's emotions. You can soothe more than their emotions. You can soothe their aches and pains. You can soothe. You can make their life more bearable just by soothing them. So, and you also have enrages, so you can enrage somebody's emotions, or in theory, if a Mistborn was fighting another Mistborn, they could enrage that Mistborn to attack. And I thought that if they could be a soother, they could soothe them so then they were hesitant to make an attack or hesitant to follow through, which I thought was a really interesting thing, that they could mix like soothing, rage, and that in with their combat. Also, like Copper, like finding their opponents, obviously, and then Bronze is finding their opponents, and Copper, they can hide from their opponents, this is a really interesting aspect of it. So there are 10 metals, I believe, in the first book, which are adamantium, gold, copper, brass, pewter, steel, iron, and another metal. It's the opposite of pewter, I believe, but I can't remember what it is. We won't worry about it too much. Tin. That's it. Tin. So yeah, all these special powers that they use, I thought was really interesting, and the way they used them, of course. And it was interesting that there was obviously a certain type of person who could use all those powers, and obviously the protagonist of the book and the newcomer was obviously going to be a person who could use all these powers. I thought that was an interesting one. I thought that was pretty obvious that was going to happen. Sorry, I'm not getting enough oxygen apparently. I'm talking too fast. So I liked in the book near the end where Calcia destroyed all the adamantium farms. I thought that was a very interesting thing to do, because he wanted the adamantium storage to help run the city, but then he's just broken the backbone of the city, let's say in 20 and 30 years, when the city no longer has any adamantium to trade. Now, obviously, they could probably do cultural and farm, but in a long term, they are known for their adamantium. So he's basically broken their back for the next 300 years or so, which I thought was a bit silly of him, a bit hasty. And he didn't even I don't think he even, if he did collect the adamantium, he didn't really say it, but 300 beads of adamantium would be a lot. Obviously, there wouldn't be 300 beads of adamantium, because there would be already some that are already plundered. But you'd have thought maybe he would have got. Sorry, I'm yawning like hell. You'd have thought maybe he would have got at least 50 or something like that. But I don't know. It was a very strange one. And of course you have the Lord Ruler and his powers. I thought they were interesting, the way he was a mix between a Ferromancer and a Alamancer. Something's wrong with me, I'm yawning too much. I thought that was pretty cool. And obviously in the journal of the book, and when everybody pretty much saw it coming when they started reading this journal, when they started getting to this Rashat mate being jealous of the Chosen One, that he obviously killed him and took his place. Now, what I found was interesting was that when they went to that room in the keep, that they didn't realise that the actual Empire, that the actual Lord, that was his actual bedroom, and that's where he rested to get his life back. I thought that was a really, I don't know, I thought it was really kind of dumb, because you'd have thought servants in the palace would see the Lord Ruler go to this place, and couldn't you bribe them to tell you? Maybe it's because he only goes there a certain time, or maybe he goes there in secret, but there's always Inquisitors outside their door every time he's there, because they want it to be there because to protect the Lord Ruler. So it was definitely a strange one. I thought they would have been more better informed about that, because considering they know everything about the castle. I like the way that Kalsia's brother joined the Iron Ministry, and I would really like to know more about the way that they made him into a Iron, what are they called? Iron Justice or Iron Inquisitor. That's it, an Iron Inquisitor, because it was like a lot of blood. Maybe it was to do with like taking the blood of somebody else, or taking somebody else's life, or putting loads of blood out of people into you to stop the bleeding, or when they ram these big fucking nails through your eyes. But I'm not kind of sure how that would go. There's one question that they haven't answered yet, which is but I don't think he will answer, or if he does answer, it will be probably later on in the series. I do like a lot of the characters in the book, especially Breeze. I really did like. I thought he was a brilliant character. Ham, I thought, was an interesting character too, the way he is a warrior philosopher. Ellen, obviously, I straight away from the get-go, I thought he was a pretty cool dude. You could see he had his eye on Vin for quite a long time. It's ridiculous how many times I've yawned so far. What is wrong with me? But yeah, it's interesting to see stuff like that. And obviously Vin's relationship with Kalsia is more of a brother-sister or father-daughter relationship. And that was good, because he was always trying to take care of her. And his plan obviously was brilliant, and he was a genius for doing it. But unfortunately he had to give his life for it. And I thought that was the right decision, because I found that Kalsia had like sort of held the group back, because he was always the figurehead, the guy always pushing the plan, but then he wouldn't let anybody else do what they wanted in the plan. He would sort of push what he wanted to do, and that would be it. He was like, it's either this or nothing, whether you like it or not. I would just I'm guessing they were fine with that. But obviously things change, and people need to step up and stuff. But yeah, I thought the Lord Ruler battle was okay. Probably not the best. I say not the best because if you know somebody's going to push against you with steel, you could push against them with steel, or use your... I don't know. I don't quite know it was an interesting fight, and it ended, you know, like how I thought it was going to end, if I'm perfectly honest. But obviously, like, there is something special about Vin. Don't quite know what, but it would be interesting to find out in future books. I thought that was interesting the way Caesar had like hundreds of religions locked in his head, and he would just repeat them out loud to some people. I thought that was a good touch. The way the author just created thousands of religions, but obviously didn't create thousands, but their names, and he has mythologies to a good probably dozen or more, which I did like that a lot. But yeah, I think it's just Brandon Sanderson always does a good book. Like he paces well, he presents it well, and it does give a good book. I'm very excited to continue reading it, or continue reading the series. He's also read quite a lot of work. Sorry, I am just gone brain dead for 5 minutes apparently. But yeah, if there's anything you guys enjoyed in the book, do tell me in the comment section down below. I really enjoyed quite a lot of the book. At the moment, it's just all blurring together with the second book, so I don't want to spoil that. So I don't want to say too much. I should do these the day I finish it, but this is like 3 days after, and I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. Probably favorite moment of the book is when Vin sort of takes on 2 Inquisitors and almost comes out on top. And I think she would have, if she would have been a little bit more not so fixated in getting into that room. I reckon she'd have done better. I reckon she would have done better just taking out the Inquisitors and then going in the room, because that way the Lord Ruler would have been weak as well. So she might have been able to end him there. Even though she did end him later, she might have just been able to end him there and save all that hassle. Rating the book, I would rate this book probably, I would give it about an 8 out of 10. I wouldn't say it's quite a 9 out of 10, because I thought there were some plot holes. Well, not plot holes, just things I didn't quite see right or quite see working out. But yeah, like for instance, like the army, the bloke has seen what these people can do. He's worked with them for like a year and a half, and they have said, hold this army here. We're delivering this army to you, but hold it here and we'll give you the city. You would hold the army there, not just randomly go, oh no, I tell you what, we're gonna have a practice battle with some randos. It's like, no, that doesn't happen, my friend. So that's probably the only thing I didn't really like. There's probably a few little tiny things that I didn't like about the book, but that was the main thing. There were stuff like that. So next week this might be a bit of a shorter one because I am knackered. It's like 3:30 at night while I'm recording this. Next week I think we're gonna go for something a little bit different. Apparently it's a comedy, but I'm not sure how comical it is. Here it is. It's called The Goblin Trilogy, Book 1, The Goblin Quest by Jim C. Hines. And I want to just give this one a go because it looks pretty funny and it looks a bit different. Where the quest starts with a goblin, obviously, which I think that's going to be a little bit different, a little bit interesting to see how that is written and how different that is. So hopefully you guys are gonna be with me with that. I also have a few others in mind. Sorry, again, I'm yawning like crazy. Obviously we have. I I want to do that next week, and then I might come back to the First Law, maybe one of those books, because I think we're one book away from finishing that. As well, we need to come back to the Dragon King trilogy, and then we need to come back to Mistborn as well to finish that off. So we have quite a lot of books to get through, which is always good. But I think I'm gonna have enough time to finish the book and have time to spare, which is gonna be really nice, because last thing you want to do is be sat there trying to freaking do everything at once. So I'm gonna end it here. You guys know what book next week is. Tell me what you think about that book, and if it's a good choice, a little bit different, a little bit strange. And this one was an interesting book as well. I really did like the fact that they didn't fetch it as a revolution, more as a thieving job. So they you know what I mean, they showed the process of going and what they would do, and then they did it, and then it became sort of together, and it crumpled, and then a secret plan came together, and it was crazy and genius, and it was interesting. Let's just say that much. It was very interesting. If you haven't read the book, go read it, or listen to it on audiobook like I did. I would love to stay all night and chat, but I'm going to fall asleep. And I also, don't forget to hit the bell, subscribe, read the book for next week, and I will join you here again next Sunday, every Sunday, for book club. Until next time, peace.